everyone, welcome back to my JEE Physics channel. I am Anant. Today I am going to discuss the questions of JEE Advanced 2020. So which the feedback I got is the physics paper is very lengthy. So I am going to postmarter each and every question in most efficient way. So what I want to tell you is, if any question paper, any JEE Advanced question paper you take, there is always some easy questions to be identified. For that you should be very careful, and your presence of mind is in very good level in the examination hall, so that you can identify them. So let us discuss question by question. So this is the first question as given. As usual, the rolling, which is a favorite part or favorite subject for the JEE advanced part. Okay, even I have done the rolling questions also in my YouTube channel, and I am going to explain how that channel previous videos are linked with this JEE Advanced question paper. So now this is a question as given. I think if you are already wrote 2020 JEE Advanced, so I think you are aware of the question. Suppose if you are in the 12th standard or 11th standard, so please read the question and try it once and come back for the solution. So in this question clearly as given that the small roller has diameter 20, so this one has 20, okay, and axial diameter is 10 centimeter. The other one is axial diameter is 10 centimeter, the inner part, which is shaded part, is 10 centimeter. This is having the 10 centimeter, the outer one is having the 20 centimeter. So that is the logic, okay. So this is 20 centimeter and 10 centimeter, but instead of numbers you will go with R and R by 2. This will be easiest one to go with. Okay, so the scale is now pushed slowly on the axle so that it is moves without slipping on the axle. There is no slipping. Roller starts rolling, rolling without slipping also as given. So every entire question is related to rolling without slipping. So directly you can apply the formulas. Okay, and it is moreover it is rolling on the ground. That means if center is having the velocity, if center has the velocity v, okay, so then what is the condition we can write down? It is, the question is based on very simplest relation, that is v is equal to r omega. So now we need to see that how much distance traveled by the scale. They are asking the position of the scale, no? Ultimately we have to identify the distance traveled by the scale. That means we have to find out the velocity of the scale. So that means we need to identify the velocity of this point, v dash. So v dash value we can find out very easily. That what? So this is the roller I am taking, and this is the center is moving with velocity v. Then what is the velocity of this point? Scale point is v will be there plus the distance is r by 2, so r by 2 omega. So we know that r omega is equal to v, so this stands for v plus v by 2, which is nothing but 3v by 2. That's it. So center velocity is v, then scale, this contact point velocity is how much? 3v by 2. Then if distance traveled by the center after the roller has moved 50 centimeter, that means 50 centimeter is the center displacement. Then what is the displacement of this point, scalar point, scale point? So 50 centimeter, and the displacement is required, S is required. It's very easy to identify. 50 centimeter is equal to, I can write down v into t, am I right? So then distance is equal to 3v by 2 into t, distance traveled by the scale. Then 3v by 2 into t, so 3 by 2 into, I can write down vt, so 3 by 2 into 50, which is nothing but 50 by 2, 25 into 3, 75 centimeter. So that means what is the position of the scale? The position of the scale is 75 centimeter. Then 75 centimeter is already traveled forward. 75 centimeter already traveled forward from this. Already 75 is traveled forward. Then the position is 25 centimeter. So this is traveled 75 forward. Okay, so C will be the answer for this question. So let us see the next question. This is the next question. So which I keep telling in my channel also, in my videos also. Even the day 7 video is related with the magnetic dipole moment. Even just before the examination I have done that question. I posted that video. So they have given the question related to magnetic dipole moment again here. So there is a charged capacitor, please go through that. Okay, so the charge on the capacitor is plus Q, let us say plus Q and minus Q. Okay, this is the charge as given. If you close the switch, then what will happen? The capacitor will be discharged in very less time. So that means there will be current from positive charge to negative charge plate. There will be current. So current goes into this loop. As the current goes into this loop, it will act as a dipole. So you can identify the first Mann-T dipole moment value. The Mann-T dipole moment value M is equal to, we can write down I into area for one loop, but in the question they have given that n turns. That means n loops are there. N into I into A you can write down, which is n into I into area pi r square. Let us say I is the current flowing for very small time interval. See, even it is not rotating also as given. Discharge time is so short that coil has hardly rotated during this time as given. Okay, so this is the Mann-T dipole moment. Then what is the torque acting on the loop? The torque acting on the loop is equal to m bar cross v bar magnitude. Okay, so which is mb sin theta. I'm just going with the magnitude first. Mb sin 90. Why? Because see, as the current is going in this way, then Mann-T dipole moment will come out of the board. So the direction of the m bar is out of the board. Then angle between the Mann-T field and dipole moment is 90. So the torque is equal to, I can write down, this is m into b, which is equal to n into I into pi r square. Actually b means b naught here, so I wrote b naught. So now they are asking for the angular momentum directly, angular momentum gained. So angular momentum gained, angular momentum changes. Okay, initial angular momentum is 0. So angular momentum, final angular momentum I can write down as delta L is equal to tau into dt we can write down, which is nothing but an angular impulse. So final angular momentum minus initial angular momentum is equal to tau into dt, n into I into pi r square b naught into dt. dt is a very small time where the charge passes through the coil. So n into pi r square b naught into I into dt is nothing but q only, charge, initial charge. So finally what is the angular momentum value is n pi r square b naught q. So this should be the answer. It's a very simple formula. On the simple formula only they ask the question. But as I keep telling you, you have to read the question and understand the question. So you have to give some time for reading the question and understanding, then you can solve the question easily. Let us go with the next question, which is related to wavefronts. Okay, so now this is the glass as given, light is passing through it. So let us go, this is the glass. Okay, glass has some refractive index. You can solve this question in two different ways. The first way is something like this. Now this is the curvature, glass curvature, and the rays are something like this. Now let us apply the simple formula. Formula is what? Ray is going from one medium to other medium. I am going with mu2 by v minus mu1 by u is equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. I am going to use this formula. What are the u values? U value is infinity. So forget about the mu1 by u logic. This value goes to 0. Okay. Now mu2 by v is equal to something like a focal length, where it is focused. Because of this curvature, I am just checking where it is focused. Okay, so v value is nothing but focus. Mu2 minus mu1. What is that? Mu2 is nothing but air. Glass refractive index is some mu. Okay, so then 1 minus mu by r is r will be negative. See, once this is the pole opposite to r calculation, curvature. Okay, so minus r. So that value will become, mu2 value is positive only, 1 only mu2 value. So finally focal length you will get. Focal length is nothing but v value. Okay, so okay, let me write down in terms of v only. Maybe you will be better understanding this part. So I'll write down mu2 by v is equal to mu minus 1 by r. If you see all the quantities here, v value you will get positive. V value you are getting positive. That means what? All will be focused at some point after refraction through this particular part. Even here also. Okay. So that means, see, if these are the rays, how the wavefront would be? Wavefront would be always perpendicular to the rays. The rays whatever we are drawing and wavefront should be perpendicular to each other. So then how the thing should be? Thing should be something like this. Wavefront should be somewhere in this way, perpendicular, so that this will become the center. Okay, now this is something like an act as a point source, so that wavefronts will be circular about the center. So exactly reverse phenomena over here, because the curvature is reverse. That means the rays, I'll take another color to show that the rays which are passing through this particular point will be diverged, something like this. That means all will be extended. If they are extended, then only you will get the focus. So you will get the wavefront something like this for this, because this would be the center somewhere here focused. That's why. That means ultimately what is the shape? The shape is something like this. That is a wavefront shape. But this is little lengthy. Actually, by using the formula you can do that. But what is the easiest part is? The easiest part is something like this. Okay. So here, suppose if I am taking the rays, I am comparison of taking the two rays, because the first and third rays will be identical. First and third rays will be identical. Now, which ray will come out first? The second ray will come out first than first ray, because it has to travel the less length inside the material, but the first ray has to travel the more length inside the material. Then the first ray will come out late than second ray. Second ray will come first. That means second ray will advance than the first ray. If you see, either this or this will be the answer if you are following this logic. See, first will have the advance, but here also it is having the equal advance. So then most close option would be C if you are following this logic. If you are following this directly, you will get the C is the option. Wavefront, you will get the C is the option. Okay. So something like flat over here. Actually, I didn't draw exactly. So try to understand the logic. So you can identify the wavefront by using the focus logic. So from that also you can identify the C is the option. Sorry. Let us see the next question. This is my favorite question of the question paper. Okay, so they asked very beautifully on the simple Ohm's law and resistance. So let us see the question. So in this question they have given one strip with different radii R1, R2, and there is a battery connected. See, A option is a common option. I am not saying that A is correct option. First we solve it. Okay, so I am saying that A option is a common option to find out the resistance. But here they have shown the taste of the IIT question paper. Okay, so B and C and D options are beautifully designed. They are really testing your minute understanding of the question, because this type of questions are we don't come across even in practice, even in textbooks also. It all depends on how sensible you are in thinking with your concept. So that only will decide whether you are able to solve the question or not. Even I also took some time to solve this question, frankly speaking. Okay, first of all, instead of solving the question, I was thinking after reading the question why there is a development of potential difference across this surface. Okay, that made me feel happy after solving the question, because completely we explored, or they have given to us a new thing to learn. Okay, let us see the first part, which is what is the current value. For that I am taking, this is the strip. Okay, here all I am solving it. If I am taking a small part over here, something like this, this is the small part I am taking. Like that, if I take two different small parts, you can take any radius, because radius is the variable I am taking as x and dx is the thickness, x and dx. Okay, so I am taking the one strip so that I can integrate. The radius of the strip is x and thickness of the strip is what? Dx. And here there is some other thickness is t. This is t, something like this. Okay, na? So this is what? Dx, and this is the t, thickness. Thickness of the plate has given t, I think so. I remember like t only. Somewhere it will be there. Yes, thickness is t and resistivity is rho. Clear? Like that, if I take one more strip, so all these strips will be in parallel, because the potential difference will be same. Because if I am taking, this is the zero potential, usually we take battery negative potential is 0, and this is V0. So across the first strip 0 and V0, even second strip also 0 and V0. That means strips will be in parallel. Now what is the resistance of this strip? what the resistance of the strip is. I can write down the dr is equal to rho into length. So length means what? Length means length through which current flows. That is the meaning of length. So the current flows in this direction. Then how much length it will travel? It will travel the length of pi into x by what is the area across which current flows. The area across which current flows is something this. This is the area I'll take. This is the area. Through this area current flows. Then what is the area value I can write down? Area value I can write down that T into dx. This is the resistance of the one strip. Then what is the total resistance value I can write down? 1 by r net is equal to integral 1 by dr, because it's a parallel connection. Okay. So then 1 by r net is equal to, I can write down integral 1 by dr is integral T into dx by pi rho into x. Okay. So finally what is the 1 by r net value? 1 by r net value is equal to, I can write down that T by pi rho will come out. T by pi rho will come out. Integral dx by x. So obviously x value will change from r1 to r2. Then T by pi into rho, I can write down ln of r2 by r1. So I think all of you know what that integration dx by x value is ln x r2 r1. So ln of r2 by r1. So the people who ever wrote the examination, I think they don't have any problem in understanding this. If some other people are watching this video, then they may have doubt how to write down this one. So it's simply I apply the ln logic. Okay. Now the question is, what is the current flows? Current flowing, total current flowing in the material. Potential difference is what? This is 0 and this is V naught. Am I right? So then potential difference I know, resistance value I know. The current value is equal to V naught by R net. So V naught into 1 by R net value is T by pi into rho ln of R2 by R1. Okay. So current value is equal to V naught into T by pi into rho into ln of R2 by R1. Okay. So this is the current value. You will get the first option, V naught T by pi rho into ln R2 by R1. I think most of the people answered this question, particularly this option, because it is having the partial marking it seems. Now I think most of the people stuck over here, B and C options, even D option also. First of all, let us go with the B and C. Okay. So let us see how B and C, higher voltage, lower voltage, why there is a potential difference across it. Okay. For that, what I am doing is, again I am taking a one strip in the material. So if I am taking the one strip, see, if I am taking the strips like this, different strips, those different strips will carry different currents. Okay. I am talking about particularly one particular strip, and there, suppose if I talk about any electron, see, this is the why I like this question, because this question made us to think very deep inside how the current flows. Okay. If I take any electron, that electron will have the drift velocity opposite to current. See, actually positive to negative. The current direction is this. So drift velocity I am taking opposite to that. That means electrons are moving in a what path? Circular path. Electrons are moving in circular path, means apart from, suppose this is the current, then this is the current density J bar. In this direction one field will be there. Okay. So that I am writing as E1. Along the current density we will have one field. So like that field will be there. Okay. So I am drawing here. Okay. This is the material suppose, and this is the line along which over that opposite to that electrons are moving. Okay. Na? So at any place, what is the J vector? This is the J vector and this is the field vector. This field will help us to move the electrons with the drift velocity. Means this field is responsible for the current. But at the same time, that electron is moving in a circular path. Means there should be some other force which will make the electron to move in circular path. That is the difference between this and, suppose if I take a material something like this. If I take a one conductor in this way and is connected to a battery, then here also you will find the current. Am I right or not? Positive to negative you will find a current. That means electrons will move opposite to the current flow. That means there will be some field which will make the electron to flow from some like higher potential to, lower potential to higher potential electron. Positive charge, higher potential to lower potential. So this field is responsible for current. So here also there will be field. That field will be tangential everywhere. But there will be one more field which will make the which will make the electron to flow in a circular path. To make the electron to flow in a circular path, there will be what? Centripetal force acting downward direction. Centripetal force is acting downward direction. That means how the electric field will be there. Electric field will be there something like this direction. Because opposite to electric field, you will find the force acting on the electron. So electron should experience the force downward. Then field should be upward direction. As the field is in upward direction, along the field potential difference decreases. Potential decreases. Along the field always potential has to decrease. That means this will be negatively potential and this will be positively potential. So from this logic, you can answer B or C option. Outer surface will be at higher voltage than inner surface. So what we got? Here outer surface we got the higher voltage than inner voltage. Okay, sorry, inner surface. So that means B will be the correct answer. Okay. Now the question is how the delta V, whatever this delta V is there, the delta V depends on the current. So this is something different now. Let us see. Now I'll find out the current value. Here I require the drift velocity, centripetal force is there. So what I do is I'll go with the centripetal force logic first. Okay. So just I'm writing the centripetal force is equal to m into drift velocity square by some, you can say some x. This is x and this thickness is dx. Okay, no? So I can write down that mv square by r, centripetal force is equal to, which I can write down as what? Centripetal force is equal to E into E, so that I can find out the field at this point at a distance of x. At a radial distance of x, I am finding the field. So then field is equal to, I can write down m by E into Vd square by x. Now let us see what is the drift velocity value. Drift velocity value, we can write down that if this is carrying the current I, strip is carrying the current I, let us say I dash, because total current is I. Only this strip is carrying the current, whatever small strip I have taken, that is carrying the current I dash. So I can write down that I dash is equal to NEA Vd, am I right? I is equal to NEA Vd logic we are applying. We are taking this one as a conductor. So then I dash is equal to, okay, so N into E into A as it is Vd. Now how to write down the I dash value? Can write like this. I dash value I can write down that V naught by resistance of this strip, which is R dash. V naught by resistance of this strip is R dash, will give you current in this strip. I am talking about only one strip, not for entire material. So then what is the R dash value? Strip resistance value I can write down R dash is equal to rho into length value is pi into x by area is equal to T into dx, which we have done previously also. This one dr value, resistance of the one strip. Okay. So same thing I am writing here. So then I can write down V naught into T into dx by rho into pi x. Okay, na? Or else you can take you can cancel the area also. Okay, let me change it so that it will be easy for us. Okay, na? So in the place of R dash, what I am doing is in the place of R dash I can write down V naught by rho into pi x by area is equal to NEA Vd, so that I can little simplify the things. Okay, so this will become V naught into A will be the numerator by rho into pi x is equal to, how much I can write down? NEA Vd. So now A value will cancel out. Finally, what is the Vd value I'll get? Vd value I'll get, so E is equal to m by E into, in the place of Vd, I can write down V naught by rho into pi Ne into x whole square into 1 by x. Okay, so this is the thing I got. So what is the field value I can write down? Field value I can write down that m by E. Okay, so V naught square by rho square pi square n square E square into 1 by x cube. This is the E value I got, but we require the delta V value, which is potential difference. How to write down the potential difference value here? The potential difference we can write down as potential difference is equal to, delta V is equal to minus E into dx. If you are moving along the field, minus E into dx, so delta V is equal to minus of E, something this constant, for a V naught constant, remaining all terms are constant, m is nothing but mass of electron. rho, pi, n, e, everything is constant. You can find out the e square into e also you can do. So some constant into 1 by x cube dx. Okay, if I integrate from R1 to R2, so that I'll get the total potential difference. So remaining all will be numbers only, something like an m, e, rho, pi, n also, R1, R2. But delta V, see here E proportional to V naught square. So I can write down the delta V. Delta V also proportional to V naught square. Whereas V naught is proportional to I. You can see here V naught and I are proportional to each other. So delta V is proportional to, I can write down I square. So I am not going for the complete expression, but you can easily understand that the potential difference is proportional to I square term. So this also will be correct. So the correct options are A, B and D. Okay. So hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll upload the remaining questions also soon. So please go through it. At the same time, please watch the remaining videos of the channel, how that my videos are connected to the JEE Advanced, you can understand. Thank you so much. We'll meet in the next video.